Hello, hello, and welcome back to Uncharted and Unfiltered, a journey back to you. I am your host, Cynthia Jamieson. This is episode 124, and I am speaking to you today from our new and temporary location in Fredericton, New Brunswick. So, good news is we made it. It was an exciting time traveling over 1,000 miles to relocate our lives and create a different reality. And today, I want to dive into something deeply transformative, which is trusting your inner wisdom and stepping into your highest timeline. And I will tell you more about what that means. So, in this episode, I want to share how I have been guided on my own journey, working with my own spiritual guides and mentor, and how all of that came together during a recent Instagram live. I'm also going to share a collective message, one that might just shift how you see your current experiences. So let's begin. So I feel like rolling back the tape for a moment. So the past several months, I'm thinking like since the spring-ish, I have been, well, even longer than that. Let's just be truthful. I have been receiving guidance my entire life. And for the past several months, I have been receiving intuitive guidance from my spiritual guides. Their messages were very clear to me. I needed to work with a mentor to deepen my connection to the wisdom that's flowing through me. And while I've always known I've had intuitive gifts, this call was different. It wasn't just about my growth, but it's about serving you in a more profound way. So saying yes to this guidance wasn't easy. I'm just going to pause for a moment because this is going to feel like as I keep going with these episodes, they are feeling more and more vulnerable for me because I'm sharing more of my truth, what's on my mind, what's on my heart, what's on my soul. So saying yes to all of this guidance wasn't easy. It required me to trust. It required me to let go of control and follow where I felt deeply called to go, from changing the podcast's focus to navigating my cross country relocation without a secured home. Trust is hard. And so it has been both humbling and liberating at the same time. And working one on one with my mentor has been a transformative process for me. Now, my guides have challenged me in some unexpected ways, like taking the social media break, which seems really, really simple, and showing up for an Instagram live, which wasn't really that simple, without prior experience in what they call sitter sessions. So, sitter sessions are when you're sitting with one on one, someone else, and you're bringing through guidance that is coming through from you for them. And it gives you an ability to practice. It gives you an ability to play and to learn and to build your muscle a little bit and all of those sorts of things. And I didn't get that opportunity. My guides were very clear. That was not going to be my path. My path was going to be just face the fear, do it anyway, and show up and do this Instagram live. So they weren't just asks or tasks, they were opportunities to confront my fears, to confront imposter syndrome, to confront doubts of worthiness. And the question again, who am I to do this? Which is not an uncommon thing for us to hear when we are doing something new. And so for me, there was a it was facing the fear and saying yes. So when the time came for the live, which was last Thursday, it felt like everything was testing my resolve. There was a power outage that disrupted the day. It started the night before, which forced me to improvise and to adapt, which wasn't a problem. And I coached my clients from a local library. I grabbed a quick lunch and as I was sitting there with my lunch, I got the text that the power was back on where we were staying. And I looked at my watch and I was like, okay, I have exactly 20 minutes. So I returned home with 5 minutes to spare before going live. Now, as the clock strikes 4 o'clock Atlantic time, I hit go live and I have no script. I have no guarantees. I have no idea who's going to show up, if anybody's going to show up. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just there to be guided with what to do. So people shared their questions framed as, what's on your mind? It's kind of like in air quotes, what's on your mind? And from there, I channeled messages that felt deeply personal to them, messages that didn't come from me, but through me. It was so humbling to realize that trusting myself and this process could yield such clarity for other people. Now, here's what's interesting about it. I couldn't recall much of what I shared afterward. My mentor later explained that this is very common. It's a sign of being a, a clear channel for the guidance that's unclouded by ego or overthinking, which is just really fascinating to think about because here's the thing that I'm learning. And all of this is new to me as I'm speaking to you. It's like unfiltered, it's uncharted. I've never been there before. And it's coming out from me to you to just share my experience so that you can have an understanding and an awareness that I am not a special snowflake here. Like all of us have this ability. All of us have this guidance system that we can connect with, that we can get insights and information and direction from. And it's our values, it's our inner compass, it's all of those sorts of words, our intuition, etc. So all that to say, out of this live, there were some fabulous messages that came through, and people had the opportunity to feedback to my mentor. I couldn't see any of this, but feedback to my mentor whether the message resonated with them, whether it made sense for them. And what I thought was fascinating is there were a lot of the sensations that I were feeling that actually they were feeling as well. And I know that because of the feedback that was shared with me afterwards. So, having said all of this, there was within this experience, it was a 30-minute experience, there was a collective message for change. And so, this is the moment that really stood out for the live for me, which is this collective message about the change happening around us. Now, my guides shared that those changes, whether in relationships, work, personal growth are not random disruptions. They're opportunities for growth. So, in essence, their message was something along the lines of, and I'm not getting specific because that's in the live, everything happening right now is for your highest timeline, your greatest growth. Trust that it's all leading you somewhere greater, even if you can't see it yet, which has exactly been the experience that I've had, that my husband has had over the past several months, several weeks in relocating from Ontario to New Brunswick. Now, I want to offer you an invitation. I want to invite you to reflect on this. What if the challenges and changes in your life are stepping stones toward your greatest potential? What if they are here to help you become the truest version of yourself? That's really interesting to think about. It's really interesting to think about. And what I have been doing is whenever something happens to me, even in the biggest of challenges, I'm looking at it through the lens of what is this here to teach me? How is this actually for me? How was it that it was for me that we didn't have a home to come here and live like fine, like we didn't have one secured? And it was so fascinating to me because it's been for me in the sense that I've been able to find other creative ways of finding a home. I've been able to find other um, individuals that are in the area that we wanted to be, that are looking to sell their home just through putting it on Facebook and asking questions and showing up and meeting people and all of this sort of thing. So, again, that's a really great question to think. And it's a lens that you can look through, which is how is whatever it is that I'm facing right now, how is that for me? What is it here to teach me? Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about, because I mentioned this at the intro, your highest timeline. So what is that? Your highest timeline is the life path where you are fully aligned with your deepest truth and purpose. It's where every choice reflects who you truly are. Now, I don't know exactly where my journey will lead here, but I'm curious to explore it, to find out by doing and being and showing up in the most highest expression of myself so that I can share my energy, my ideas, my thoughts, my feelings with my clients, with people who show up on these live readings, and share my experiences with you in real time. So if you are feeling uncertain about a decision or a situation in your life, here's a very simple exercise that you can try. Just pause for a moment and take a deep breath. And then picture the situation that you're in. And then imagine that everything happening is leading you to the version of yourself that you're meant to become. How does that shift your perspective? What clarity or peace does that bring? This is where it brings in the opportunity to trust your intuition, because what I have learned is that each of us has access to this inner wisdom, and your inner wisdom is different than my inner wisdom. And it might come for you as a gut feeling. Maybe it's a moment of clarity, or maybe it's a quiet whisper from your heart. Those moments aren't coincidence. That's what I can tell you for sure. They are signs guiding you to your highest and best good. So next time you feel that nudge, I invite you to trust it, lean into it, let it guide your next steps. So, if this message resonates, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me on social media, or I would be honored if you would feel called to leave a review. And if you'd like to hear more about what came through my Instagram Live, check out the replay. It's filled with messages for individuals and for all of us, and I will put the link in the show notes for you. It's fascinating just to see the whole process. And I mean, I had to go back because I didn't remember. I had to go back and look at and listen to the live myself. And what I thought was fantastic just in doing that, it was like witnessing it for the very first time through a different set of eyes. Anyways, all this to say, remember your highest timeline is there waiting for you to step into it. So trust the journey, trust the guidance, and keep growing. And until next time, take care and embrace the very fullest version of yourself. Goodbye. I hope that you're walking away feeling more aligned with your true self, more confident in the choices ahead, and ready to leave the safe path behind, knowing you've got everything you need within. Remember, the journey to you isn't about finding one perfect direction. It's about trusting yourself enough to explore all of it. If you're ready to dive deeper, join me for the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss the next step on your path. I invite you to join my mailing list at www.cynthiajamiesoncoach.ca, where we'll deepen our relationship and you can claim your copy of Your Inner Compass, a guide to charting your course to authenticity. Until next time, stay unfiltered, stay true, and most importantly, stay you.